St. Clair County RESA presents Dateline Schools, hosted by Terry Harrington.
All this week on Dateline Schools, we're talking with one of the teachers participating in the county's Classroom for the Future project. We're at Woodland Developmental Center talking with teacher Tammy Brown. And Tammy, now that you've been through all this professional development that you described yesterday and the planning stages, what's your vision for your classroom now?
Well, what's interesting is it changes every time we meet because they bring up new concepts, and my students are so much different than a lot of the students that teachers are talking about in class. My students have moderate cognitive impairments, and they don't attend general school. They're impaired to the point where it's needed that we have a more specialized program for them. And every time we sit down in class, they'll bring up a topic, and what I thought I was thinking about changes 180 degrees because I go in with a vision of, well, I want the classroom to look like this. And then we go in and we start talking and we talk about functionality, and we've talked more and more about giving students voice and choice in what's going on in the classrooms. And I start to think about the question from the student's perspective versus just my own or just my staff's perspective. And it changes 180 degrees. How would I as a student feel sitting in this classroom? How would I as a student struggle with this problem? How would I be excited about this sort of thing happening? And it's different thinking about it as a student sitting in a chair or sitting at a table or working with a group than it is for me. So it's really been enlightening to be part of that group and to hear what's going on and then to apply that to what my students are able to do and how they can have voice and choice in what we're talking about.
I think, too, something else is for what you do. You have your students for more than a year. So now you've got a little extra work, a little more of a challenge to keep it exciting and that learning fresh for them.
Yes, and a lot of times you learn a lot about the students as you get to know them as people. And that's what we spend a lot of time doing here is getting to know our students as individuals. What do they have as an individual as needs? What do they have as a strength area? And interpreting that. But through this process, we've really spent more time using the tools and the processes that we go through here to let those students have that voice, to sit back and ask the question and then wait and let them show us in their way what they need. And that's been very enlightening.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.